a bustling city filled with the noise of honking cars, chattering crowds, and the hum of daily life, there lived a beggar named Ravi. For as long as he could remember, Ravi had spent his days sitting on a street corner, holding out his tattered hat, hoping for the kindness of strangers to drop a coin or two. His life was a monotonous cycle of scarcity, disappointment, and despair. He had long accepted his fate, believing that he was destined to be poor, that the world owed him nothing, and that there was no way out of his miserable existence. Ravi's days were all the same. He would wake up early, find his usual spot on the busy street, and sit there for hours, waiting for passers-by to notice him. Some days were better than others. On good days, he would collect enough coins to buy a meal or two. On bad days, he would go to bed hungry, wondering why life had been so unfair to him. He often blamed his circumstances, his lack of education, his poor upbringing, and the absence of opportunities for his plight. He believed that he was powerless to change anything. One day, as Ravi sat on his usual spot, a well-dressed man named Arjun walked past him. Arjun was a successful businessman, known for his wisdom and generosity. Unlike others who would simply drop a coin into Ravi's hat and walk away, Arjun stopped and crouched down to meet Ravi at eye level. "Why do you beg?" Arjun asked gently. The question caught Ravi off guard. No one had ever asked him such a thing before. People usually ignored him or treated him as if he were invisible. He hesitated for a moment before replying, "What else can I do? This is my life. I have no education, no skills, and no opportunities. Begging is the only way I can survive." Arjun listened intently, his eyes filled with compassion. He then said something that would change Ravi's life forever. "What if I told you that your life could change if you changed the way you think?" Ravi frowned, confused by the statement. How can thinking differently change anything? I am who I am. My circumstances won't change just because I think differently. Arjun smiled and reached into his bag. He pulled out a small book titled "Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life," and handed it to Ravi. "Read this," he said. "It's not about where you are now, but where you can go if you believe in yourself. Your thoughts have the power to shape your reality." Skeptical but curious, Ravi took the book. That night, under the dim light of a street lamp, he began to read. The book spoke of the power of mindset, of how thoughts shape reality, and how even the smallest shift in perspective could lead to transformation. It emphasized that success starts in the mind, that if you believe you are capable, you can achieve great things. At first, Ravi found it hard to believe. The ideas in the book seemed too good to be true. But as he continued reading, he began to see things differently. The book challenged his long-held beliefs and made him question his assumptions about life. What if I'm not destined to be poor? What if I can learn something new? What if I can create opportunities for myself? These questions lingered in Ravi's mind, and slowly but surely, a spark of hope began to grow within him. He realized that he had been trapped not by his circumstances, but by his own thoughts. He had convinced himself that he was powerless, that he had no control over his life. But the book showed him that he had the power to change his story. The next day, Ravi decided to take action. Instead of sitting passively on the street, he started offering to clean the shoes of passers-by in exchange for a small fee. At first, people were surprised. They were used to seeing him beg, not work. But many agreed, intrigued by his initiative. Ravi worked diligently, polishing shoes with care and attention. He made sure to do his best, knowing that his efforts could lead to more opportunities. Word spread quickly about the beggar who had started shining shoes. People admired his determination and began to seek him out. Within a few weeks, Ravi had a steady stream of customers. He no longer had to beg for coins. He was earning them through his hard work. With the money he earned, Ravi bought better cleaning supplies and even a small chair for his customers. He saved diligently, determined to improve his life. Within a few months, he had saved enough to rent a tiny stall in the market. There, he expanded his services to include repairing shoes and selling shoe polish. Ravi's small stall became a popular spot in the market. His dedication and excellent service earned him a loyal customer base. People admired his transformation and often asked him how he had turned his life around. Ravi would smile and tell them about the book that had changed his thinking and his life. Years passed, and Ravi's small stall grew into a thriving business. He no longer saw himself as a beggar, but as an entrepreneur. He had proven to himself that with the right mindset and hard work, anything was possible. He often thought back to the day Arjun had handed him that book and how it had sparked a change in his thinking. One evening, as Ravi closed his shop, he noticed a young beggar sitting on the street corner where he once sat. The boy looked tired and hopeless, much like Ravi had all those years ago. Ravi approached him and crouched down, just as Arjun had done. "Why do you beg?" Ravi asked. The boy looked up, surprised. "What else can I do? This is my life." Ravi smiled and handed him a small book. The same book that had changed his life. "Change your thinking," he said, "and you can change your life." The boy took the book, his eyes filled with curiosity. Ravi knew that the journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but he also knew that the first step toward transformation was a change in mindset. And so the cycle of transformation continued, one mind at a time. Moral of the story: your circumstances do not define your future. Your mindset does. By changing the way you think, you can unlock new possibilities and create a life of purpose and abundance. Success starts in the mind, and with belief, determination, and action, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness.